Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks, worms and germs, and welcome to the cocktail hour. You might notice that I'm a little more coherent this week. My verbiage is a little more understandable. That's because I was sloshed as shit last week. I listened to that thing, man. I was slurring my words. I was mixing up words. At one point, I called Jane the Virgin's body, which was what I was supposed to say. Instead, I said Jane the body's virgin. I started doing Scott Steiner's math. I was three sails to the wind, as they say. But this week, I am having my first drink, so I should be good for the night. With me is my co-host, the girl around for having mommy bags, Miss Robin Dubois.
Mummy bags.
Hey, you brought it up. How was your week?
It was hectic. Black Friday weekend in retail. Oh, I saw a set of bowls. Yeah, that's that was my week.
You sold a set of bowls?
Saw a set of bowls.
Oh, saw.
Yeah, a customer came in. I thought it was a lady. It was a man in a dress. He sat down. He wasn't wearing underwear, and you always see his big old balls.
I thought you said a set of bowls, not a set of balls.
Yeah.
Oh, well, your week sounds as interesting as mine.
Oh, I also got threatened by a man on a Segway, even though I could have literally shoved him off of the Segway, but it's cool.
I almost got hit by one of those too. Segways is those. No, not on a Segway. I'm sorry. Segway is the one with no handles, right?
It's with the is I think it's with the handle, the one with the handle.
Okay, yeah, I remember what a Segway was. All right, right. I almost got hit by somebody on a motorized scooter going the wrong way down a major street. I'm looking to the left to make sure I don't get hit by a car, and I just happened to turn my head to the right, and this shit went zooming by me. Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, lady, you are lucky.
Yes, you have to look out
You're
for
lucky I
scooters
did not
too.
swing." And those things are quiet. They are so fucking quiet. Like I didn't hear her at all. Not at all. I literally just happened to turn my head in the opposite direction of traffic because it was a one-way street. And this chick is going down the opposite side, going down there the wrong way. I'm like, fucking asshole. Lucky I didn't clothesline your ass. That was just one day. I don't remember what day that was. That was just one day. So then when I went to mail you that gift card, right?
Oh, really?
Oh, I had an interesting week. I wanted to get a tracking number because I don't trust the post office. So I always get it unless I always get a tracking number, which is why I didn't just put an envelope on it and throw it in the mailbox. You know, if it's just a letter, I'll put it in the mailbox. Anything else, I don't trust the post office. So I have to go to, I mean, so I have to go to the post office and get a tracking number. So I go up there and online, I get up to the guy. Guy gives me the slip and says, fill this out and come right back to the window. I'm like, all right, cool. Go fill it out. Come back to the window. There's somebody there. I don't know what the fuck was going on with this woman. I just know it had something to do with cards. I
Hmm.
don't know if they were gift cards or credit cards, but she tried a card, it didn't work. Then she pulls out some other cards. Those aren't working. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if she had a bunch of gift cards that were empty or if she was having a problem with her cards or her account was empty. I don't know. I was in the distance. I just see this going on, and this is going on for a while. And the guy behind the post office guy, oh my God, I give him credit. He's trying to work with her instead of telling her to move along so other people come along. But I'm standing there patiently and I'm getting frustrated. And suddenly I sense something behind me.
Hmm.
So I turn around and there's this creepy little French girl with these large eyes staring at me, just like staring at the back of my head. And when I saw her, only thing I could think about was that episode of Dexter with the girl with the large, creepy eyes.
I never seen Dexter.
You never saw Dexter's Laboratory? Yo, they did a
Oh,
whole, yeah,
yes,
Dexter's
yes. Oh,
Laboratory,
yes,
not the
yes,
serial killer Dexter, Dexter's Laboratory, and
yes.
they
That
had,
little girl who's in love with
yes,
Dexter.
yes. So after 4 seconds of awkward staring at each other, I turn back around, and she starts singing, which is why I know she's French because she starts singing in French.
What?
So now I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Then her father comes around and then starts and tells me, excuse me, sir, if I believe the line is over there. I'm like, I'm not waiting on the line. I'm not. I'm like, I don't know why he tried to tell me when he seemed very confused about where he's supposed to be anyway to mail his fucking package. So finally, the lady leaves, and I go over there and I mail my stuff out. And the girl's still staring at me when I finish doing what I have to do. I, I, I had never been so happy to get out of the post office because that was just really weird.
Super duper weird. Oh my gosh.
So then, this is a different day. I'm telling you, I had a week this thing.
And then there's more.
I go, I go to McDonald's to get lunch. I come back and I see like a squadrons of cops running. I'm on the block that I'm supposed to be on. So the parallel block in front of me, they're going down the parallel block. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I go down to the corner. I see like there's like 20 cops and they're loading somebody in the squad car. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Because I'd never seen that. Well, I have for another reason, but for this like regular stuff, I've never seen that many cops in one area for one person.
Mhm.
Find out later, apparently there was a shooting up the street. And this is Soho,
Um.
Manhattan. So
What
apparently
the
the
heck?
guy, yeah, the guy was shooting up the street and then, excuse me, and then somehow ended up down in my area. And that's when the cops caught him. So that was going on. And when we all saw the cops, all of a sudden everybody's standing in front of their building because we don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh,
We don't know if it's a riot and people are gonna come start breaking shit. So we're all just standing in front of the buildings waiting to see what the hell's going on. And then later on, that's when I found out. Apparently, this guy was shot. I don't know if he shot someone or he shot at someone like a few blocks up and then came down to where we were, and that's when the cops caught him.
mm,
And that was during the week. So then my weekend, we had to put up these Christmas decorations, right? And I had to put together this sled and a reindeer. I open up the box. First of all, the lights are attached to these things. You don't put the lights on after you put it together. The lights are attached. And they're tied together with a ribbon. So after I untie the ribbon, I have to carefully separate everything to make sure I don't rip the wires to the light. Because if you
mhm.
even if you get like a small nick in it, they're fucked. So I'm sitting there being very gentle, taking it apart. I have the worst fucking instructions ever. I mean, the instructions show you how to put it together, but they don't tell you how to unfold stuff. They don't tell you which direction to put things in. So I'm trying to put this stuff in. On top of this fucking thing is made out of wire, and then it's basically covered. It's basically a bunch of um what are those things? Like wire hangers, like little
Why here?
the
Hanger.
wire rods. They're wire rods, and then they're put together with plastic. What can I call it? Plastic mesh. So I'm supposed to take these little parts on some one piece that sticks out at the bottom and stick it in these holes to the bottom of the sled, to the part where the sled rides on. I don't know what the fuck you call those things. I have to try and stick these things not only in these holes but through this fucking mesh. The mesh, the rod keeps getting stuck on the mesh before it can get in the hole. I got to try and stretch the plastic mech off of the top of the hole to put these things in. I'm sitting here cursing the fucking thing because these fucking instructions are fucking stupid. And
Mhm.
then find out I put the fucking thing back together put the fucking thing together backwards. So now I gotta take the whole fucking thing apart, put it back together the right way. I'm just like, and meanwhile, I'm just sitting there cursing my ass off the whole time I'm putting this fucking thing together. Then I take out the reindeer. The reindeer is like at least with the sled, it was giant pieces that were easy to put together once you figure out the right direction they were supposed to be. But this fucking reindeer, when they packed it, they put the legs inside the bottom of the reindeer. So now I have to try and get these things out again without ripping the lights. And when I say it is stuck in there, like the hooks are stuck in the mesh, the lights are wrapped around the legs that I gotta pull out of the inside of the reindeer, and I'm just like cursing the shit out of this. I'm trying to pull these little pieces out. Then I have to put them on, but you have to twist tie them on. So I have to do that. And I have to find the twist ties, twist tie the legs on. Meanwhile, I have to make sure everything is sitting on my lap because I don't want a piece to fall and yank and rip the wires. I'm trying to juggle everything while putting the damn thing together. The funny thing is, the reindeer was easier to put together than the goddamn sled. It was just packed so fucking annoyingly that it was easy to break. And the same thing, it has the plastic mesh. So everything's getting caught in the mess. And you gotta try and move that. You try to put the pegs in the hole, they get caught in the mess. Then I had to fix the lights because some of the lights popped out of the mesh, and I got to make sure that it was just a fucking pain in the ass. But we got it done. I got it done. We got all the lights up. That was just like, and then I had a bag full of parts that weren't in the instructions. So I don't know what the fuck those parts were for. Because I looked at the instructions, I looked at everything. Everything was accounted for except this bag full of parts, and I don't know where the fuck these parts go. So I just left them off. We'll see what happens. They didn't give me any instructions on where to put the fucking parts. So
Maybe.
that was my weekend.
Yeah, that's. Mm-mm. Oh yes, Christmas gone get a break.
I thought I was gonna have to tell a farm story today, but nope. Especially with that little fucking girl.
Creepy. That's so weird and random.
I don't know why she was staring at me
And then
and
singing. Was she
continued to
singing you
stare.
a French song of death? Like,
I don't know what she was singing. I just know she was singing. I'm like, oh boy.
nope. Creepy. You'll see her in your dreams.
I hope not. Oh man. But I got a couple of things done. I got some good times this week. I finally got to see the end of the last episode of Walking Dead for this season. I forgot about it.
I gave up on that show.
It did kind of fall off. It kind of fell off, which brings me to something else too. Like, cause I forgot about it. It came out in October, but I was working at the farm a lot, so I was really tired. I forgot why. Something it was either something was else was on. I was like, I'll watch this later, or I was just so fucking tired from work at the farm. I was like, I'll watch it later, and then completely forgot about it. But I ended up watching it, and then they suckered me. Motherfuckers suckered me.
What do you mean?
It said it was 2 hours, right? But the season finale was only an hour, and it was connected to the other show, Walking Dead World Beyond.
World Beyond? What the heck is that about?
It's a new spinoff to The Walking Dead. And so since it just immediately started playing afterwards, I didn't bother turning it off. And you know what? The show was actually pretty fucking good. Like really good.
What's
Like
it
I said,
about?
Walking Dead kind of fell off, but this one was actually really, really good. The characters have good chemistry together. I wouldn't say they're relatable, but their inner traumas, all their inner traumas make total sense. The way their personalities are because of their inner traumas make total sense. The story is very interesting. The camaraderie that they build together, that these characters build together, seem real. Like you see, it seems like when these people interact, it seems real. The only issue I have is with this one chick who I'm not even sure if that's her real voice. Because sometimes when she's talking, because she has this accent. I I can't explain what the accent is. It's an American accent, but I can't really place what part of the country it is. But she has this accent, and sometimes it's off when she's talking, like the sound is off so it doesn't seem like it's coming from her mouth. So I'm not sure if that's actually her talking or that's just bad editing as on audio editing. But it's really awkward at sometimes because it really feels like because the voiceover is off with her mouth move, it feels like it's not. It feels like it's not her. It feels like a poorly dubbed TV show. But other than that, it's actually really, really good. I think I'm up to episode 6. I think that's the next episode
Like,
I have to watch.
What is it?
But
The
basically,
world beyond.
it takes place now,
Uh-huh.
10 years into The Walking Dead, and it's about these group of kids who go to. How far did you get in Walking Dead?
Honestly, the last episode I watched was
Season wise,
when, ooh, season wise,
yeah.
I think was it Glenn when I thought when they thought he died.
Oh, well, you way behind. So in
Yep.
season 9, they come across this group, and this group is in contact with another colony that has like helicopters and shit. In the world beyond, we finally find out who the fuck this group is. And this other colony of people, they do this exchange with the group that has the helicopters and shit. They're like a military group.
Mhm.
And what they do is they send this scientist over there, which happens to be these two girls' father. Now, this group, this the scientific group, the military group, I forgot what they're called, but the military group, they don't let any communications in or out of their group. They don't let anybody know where they are. But they
Mhm.
did this exchange because the father's a scientist, and they claim that they're going to find a cure for the zombie apocalypse, right? So they need all the scientists they could get.
Mhm.
So they get a secret message from their father saying that I am not safe and I'm laying low. Things went south here. So they decide to go save their father, and that's pretty much it's a group of four. It's two girls, they're sisters, and it's their father, and two friends. And then they go off, and then the guardians, basically, they're two guardians, go after them. So now there's a group of six going to save this guy from the military base. That's what the show is about. It's pretty much their journey to go save these kids' father.
Mhm.
And it's really fucking good. It's really good. There's a lot of character development that makes sense for their personalities. It's very, very well written. I said written, written.
Silly
I
wallet.
honestly, I might end up watching this more than I watched The Walking Dead because The Walking Dead, yeah, it did kind of fall off. This season finale was pretty good. This season was pretty good. Season before wasn't that great until the end of the last season, but this season was like it was okay all the way through. Picked up towards the end. It was really, really exciting towards the end until the fucking stormtroopers showed up, but that's a whole nother story.
Mhm.
These guys came running up there with military weapons in like white armor, and all I can think of was goddamn Star Wars stormtroopers.
Uh, That's okay. I'm usually now you make me want to just peek at those episodes to see
Yeah,
what's
that's
going on.
World Beyond is actually pretty good. I would recommend watching that. But did you watch My Hero Academia? It's the real question. That's what everybody wants to know.
Nah, I didn't. It was
You still didn't
hectic
watch
this
that?
week. Hectic. I want to sit at my pleasure and leisure.
You have more
They
excuses.
announced the third one too. Did I send you the trailer? I mean, the movie poster for it?
No, you did not. Someone else told me they are actually making another one, even though they said that was going to be the last one.
March. It's supposed to come out. It's just the movie poster alone looks amazing. Like what? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
gotta check. I gotta check it out. Originally, they did say that was going to be the last movie. I did read that article. I'm not crazy with that one, but I guess
That's
they decided to
hilarious.
make another one. So I guess I'm
I'll
not
send
going to
you
go see
the
that.
poster. Hmm.
Definitely going to go see that. Do you know what the hell is going on with Black Clover? It seems like they come out with a new
Oh,
episode every 2 weeks instead of weekly.
right. I peeped that. I'm like,
Yeah, did you hear an
oh,
announcement
so
about that or something? Because I noticed that like in the past couple of
no.
months, like every other week a new episode comes out. Because I look for it every week, and I'm like, oh, nothing. And then the week after that, it comes. I'm like, we didn't have that many holidays, so what the hell's going on with this?
The last I heard with the hiatus, like they were on pause because of COVID, and then they started launching more episodes. But I guess they
They
gave
never went.
breaks in
No, they never
between.
went on hiatus. Maybe on
They stopped.
Cartoon Network they went on hiatus, but they never went on hiatus. Like I've been watching. That's the one thing I've been that and My Hero Academia. Those are the things I've been watching straight through the entire pandemic.
I guess because the website I was watching on Kiss Anime, which shut down. Yeah, they stopped. When like in the spring, episodes stopped coming in.
Yeah, no, I've been watching all through. They're up to episode 140. Well, the next episode will be 141. That's what I'm saying. That's been going through straight through throughout the pandemic, which I'm glad because that kept me going. That gave me stuff to watch because I did not feel like watching repeats. Although I did go back and watch Flash and Arrow again, but
I stopped watching The Flash.
you stopped watching everything.
I did. I really did. I think Barry Allen pissed me off again. I think he's about to travel through time again.
When did you stop watching The Flash?
I think when his daughter came along,
Oh, okay.
the wedding, literally their wedding,
Yeah,
and then the Nazi Supergirl.
yeah. Well, he doesn't go back through time, but I don't even remember. Wait, I don't remember which season that was. I think that was last, not this season. I just passed the season before. Yeah, the season before. Did you make it to the end of the season before?
Nope. Did I? Mm.
You missed out.
I love that show. I really did.
It's still good.
But Barry Allen.
Still
Yeah,
good.
okay, all right. I'll give that a
So
go
wait, you didn't
again.
watch you didn't watch Crisis on Infinite Earth?
I actually did. I actually skipped all the episodes of all the shows just to watch Crisis on Earth.
Oh, at least you saw that.
I love those crossover episodes. Love them. So good.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
I'm really slacking. You know, uh,
go ahead.
I started One Punch Man again because I'm like, I only get as far as the third episode before, but then I'm starting it again. I'm like, this show is so funny. Like,
It was
but they only have 2 seasons.
yeah, I know. I know. I don't know when the third season's coming out.
See, that show hiatus for like what years in between? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. That is kind of annoying. Some stuff I've fallen off of, I kind of don't even want to go back. Like uh Overlord. I'm just like,
I started Overlord, and why I actually got a few episodes in, and then you see, I know they came out the new video game for it
what game?
for Overlord. They came out with the new video game.
No, I mean, what is it on?
Let me think. I saw it advertised on Instagram.
That's a game called AFK. It's not an Overlord game. It's just they added the Overlord characters to it. I saw that ad.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm not. I gave up on that show. Like I don't even remember when I watched it, but I watched all three seasons. That might have been 3 years ago, maybe four. No, it had to
That
be. No, no,
show's
no. It had to be like
old.
2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. Definitely 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm like, kind of over it now. Kind of over it. It was good. It was interesting. I was curious of where they were going, but now I'm kind of over it. So that's that with me, Overlord. Well, unlike you, Missy, I did what I was supposed to do, and I actually got to watch the Fresh Prince of Bel Air's reunion. But
Oh boy.
I'm
Uh-huh.
sure you're going to want to talk about that during the news segment, so
Oh, okay.
we'll save off on that until then. In the meantime, it's time to get to the main event, which is New Mutants. Finally got a chance to watch it. Finally, after what episode is this? 8, right? So after 7 episodes, I finally was able to see it. Uh, well, New Mutants is Fox's last movie, period, actually. I was about to say last Marvel movie, last Mutant movie, last movie, period, because they sold everything to Disney. All they have is news broadcast. So this is the last, I'm pretty sure this is the last Fox movie, period.
Dude, did you see in the beginning, from the jump, it doesn't even say 20th Century Fox, it says 20th Century.
Did it? I wasn't paying attention. I just saw it said, I did notice it said in association with Marvel. so
Yeah,
so no one
right.
confuses them for this for a Marvel Studio movie, just in case, you know. But I'm gonna start off by running down the name of the characters. We have Mirage, played by Blair Hunt, who was in the only thing I know her from. She's in a bunch of stuff, but the only thing I recognized was the originals. I didn't watch that show, but she was in that. I heard of that show. Cannonball, played by Charlie Hedo from Stranger Things. Sunspot, played by Henry Zaga, who was in Teen Wolf and 13 Reasons, which explains why I had no idea who this guy was, because I don't even remember him 13 Reasons, and I did not watch Teen Wolf. Magic, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who was the main chicken split and showed up in Glass. Yeah,
Oh, that's where I know her
yeah,
from.
yep. And finally, we have Wolf Blaine, played by Massey Williams from Game of Thrones.
If I could play the Game of Thrones theme song.
She played Arya Stark. So, the movie starts out with a narration about a Native American proverb about two bears, one good, one evil. Cut to Mirage being waken up by her father as their reservation is being attacked. He drags her to the woods, puts her in a tree, tells her to hide, and then he gets killed. Then she runs from something chasing her, and I noticed they use Sentinel sound effects, which is what I thought they were because they use Sentinel sound effects.
Mm,
I noticed that right away, and I was like, "Oh wait, are they getting attacked by Sentinels?"
right? I thought they were coming to collect her or something.
Like they could have changed the sound effects to something else. I don't know why they were using fucking Sentinel sound effects. I really thought it was Sentinels attacking the reservation. So after her father gets killed, she hears a growling and a gust of what it looked like wind, really. It starts chasing her. She falls down, hits her head, and then she wakes up in what looks like a rundown institution, chained to her bed. Enter our antagonist, Dr. Reyes, played by Alice Breger from the Queen of South. She was in something else too, but I forgot what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most recent one is Queen of South, which is the only one I wrote down. I seen her in something else, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, she was in there, but I forgot what movie it was. It was definitely a movie though. Might have been one of the Mission Impossibles. I forget. You guys can Google it. So let's see. She tells her that her reservation was destroyed by a tornado. She was the only survivor, and lets her know that she's a mutant, and that's why she's here. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Am I missing anything?
Just that Arya Stark was watching her in the vent too. I
Which
guess
which
is that yeah.
what am I missing?
I get yeah. That's towards the beginning. Arya she woke up. Arya Stark was watching her in the vent.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Wolfbane. Well, I'm gonna call her Pharaoh because that's how I was introduced to her when I first saw her. Was Pharaoh? That was when she was with X Factor after the New Mutants. So yeah, that's right. You see Pharaoh in the vent when she wakes up. We meet the rest of the mutants. The rest of the misfits, I should say, because that's exactly what this reminded me of. They have a group session, and then Magic is told to show Mirage around.
The worst possible person you can ask to do that.
Yeah,
I didn't
she was an
get
asshole.
that.
I don't know why they
Total
made
asshole.
Magic an asshole, but she was an asshole. Loki is in the movie too as a hand puppet. And at first I couldn't figure out why the fuck Loki was in there, but then I found out that Loki did hang out with Magic every once in a while. So I guess it made sense. It didn't just like throw something in because I hate when fucking movies do that. Like prequels of Star Wars. They throw characters in because they're popular and they put people in the seats. They did that same shit with Transformers when they put Devastator's name in the list and then they made him a fucking tank and then tried to claim it's a mistake. That is not a mistake. You did that shit on purpose. Fucking Devastator is made out of 5 fucking robots. He's not one robot, so there's no way you can mistake him for another Transformer. So that was bullshit lie that they said. That was a mistake. No, it wasn't. You put that name in there just to get people in the seats. Fucking mistake. That's like casting Morgan Freeman to play John McClane in the next Die Hard movie. Like, no, Morgan Freeman's black with hair and freckles. John McClane is white, now bald. So don't sit there. Oh yeah, John, this is John McClane. No, that's not John McClane. Morgan Freeman is not John McClane. Don't try to pull that bullshit on me. Yeah, so what's the name sends her on a tour, and then she shows her that the gate is wide open. So of course Mirage decides to go run to freedom and runs into a force field, which is placed by the doctor. So because she can't get out and all her family's dead, Mirage decides to try and commit suicide by jumping out of the bell tower. And she's talked out of it by Pharaoh, and they start bonding. At this point, we get to see Cannonball use his powers.
Hmm.
And this is one of the things I didn't understand was Cannonball's character. And it's not I didn't understand the character, I just don't know why they made him like that. Like he's guilty because when his powers went off in a mine that he was working in for the first time with his father, he ended up killing his father and the rest of the crew. So he feels guilty about that. He kind of keeps to himself, doesn't really want to talk much, which makes sense. But then they have him abusing himself. And I didn't understand the point of that.
Teen angst, adding more teen angst, dark teen angst stuff. That's
I get that, but that part wasn't necessary because he was teen angst enough. That's why I didn't understand why they had him abusing himself. I didn't get that at all, and he's purposely abusing himself because the people in Marvel used to be intelligent, and before they gave people powers, they had it make sense. Because it wouldn't make sense for this man to be going 100 miles an hour into a brick wall and not die. Unless, he surrounds himself with an energy field, sort of a force field type thing. So that makes sense. So he's purposely not putting the force field up while he's using his powers to hurt himself. And I just didn't get that at all. I mean, it's probably their version of a cutter, but he was fine with just the way he was without that. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
The way he was already was enough. You already got the sense of his guilt. You didn't need him abusing himself. I guess they thought it was cool to have someone abuse themselves with their mutant abilities instead of, the razor or burning themselves like they usually do. So that's why they threw it in there, but it was really unnecessary. Um, what else did we find out at this time? Yeah, that's pretty much it. At this point, see him use his powers, and Mirage and Pharaoh bond, and then they go to bed, not together. And while Mirage is sleeping, she's having nightmares, and her psionic levels are spiking, and her nightmares are causing other people to have living nightmares. The first person to have this was Cannonball. He sees the mine that he was in. His father's bleeding in his head, tells him, "What have you done?" The miners start attacking him, and then he just blows up the washing machine because he was doing laundry and flies into the wall. Then they do a therapy session together, group therapy. Cannonball's talking about he's seeing shit. The doctor knows what's going on because there's cameras everywhere. So and it monitors everyone, including, don't ask me how this works, but they can monitor when their powers are activated. I don't know. Marvel science. Okay, we'll just chalk that up to Marvel science. So they're doing group therapy. Now the doctor knows. He says he's seeing shit. The doctor's like, oh, whatever. Da-da-da-da-da. Next, we have them hanging out together, and Buffy's on the TV screen, and I'm just sitting there wondering why the fuck am I not watching Buffy at this point? Because this movie is very slow. It's not completely boring, but it does kind of drag a bit.
Yeah, you're waiting for the next thing to happen.
Yeah, it's not like you're uninterested, but you can feel it's moving slow. That's the thing about it. Like the dialogue is great, it's exposition without it feeling like exposition. Unlike last week's movie when the characters talk, it feels like they're talking to each other rather than talking to the audience. The chemistry in the dialogue, like I said, the chemistry between these people are great. So when they're talking, the chemistry feels real. It's just really really time consuming. So when Buffy popped up, I was just sitting there like, you know what? Why am I not watching Buffy right now? I'd be a lot more interested. Not that I'm not interested, but I'd be a lot more invested if it was Buffy I was watching right now and not this. But then something interesting does happen. What's her name? Magic and Mirage get into a fight, which the doctor stops. They're sent to solitary confinement. I think something else happened after that when it was sent to. Were they? Did something happen?
Yeah, Mirage had a nightmare and then she like woke up
Oh, that's right. She was covered
covered
in
with
blood.
blood. Yeah.
Now, this would be confusing unless you knew Mirage's powers, which is she has telekinesis. Oh no, not telekinesis, telepathy. She can turns people's fears against them. She can also make physical mirages of certain things. And a couple of other stuff. I forgot what her other powers was, which is why when she had the nightmare and she woke up covered in blood, she can make physical mirages. That's why the blood just came out of nowhere. Next day, the doctor is doing tests on her, right? Where am I in my notes?
Like blood tests. Oh,
Right,
putting her.
right. And the doctor gives a logical explanation for being locked up. You know, that they're a danger. So until they're not a danger anymore to themselves and others, they got to stay there and locked up, learning to control their powers. Honestly, as an adult, that explanation makes a lot of sense. Here's the problem, and I would be hella suspicious for all of these if I was in this situation. Dr. Reyes is the only fucking person in this place.
Hmm.
The fucking place looks like it's been abandoned for years. Dr. Reyes is the only person other than the so-called patients in there. And I'm like, y'all don't find something wrong with that?
Totally wrong. I didn't even know she was a mutant until she put up that force field with the girls fighting.
I didn't either. I didn't either, but I wasn't surprised. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, I understand she has a force field, but if this was like a real place where you're supposed to learn their power, how to use their powers, wouldn't there be at least a staff of five or six? Not one fucking doctor? I'm not saying you should have like security guys there with armed machine guns, because yeah, that would look suspicious too. But at least have other doctors there so that it at least looks legitimate. Not one doctor in an abandoned fucking institution. And I think that was Marbury Hospital or Mayberry Hospital, one of the two.
Yeah. I thought at first when I saw it, like, did I say Mercury Hospital? I'm like, is this
I'm
that
sure that
Mer?
has something to do with the comics. I'm sure it's just not a random name they picked up.
Totally. Yeah.
But yeah, that was very interesting. Not interesting. That was very, very confusing to me because I would have been suspicious that there's just one fucking doctor in this entire fucking place. Entire place, just one, every day. Nobody else shows up. That, any other part that didn't make sense to me was the fact that they thought they were being groomed for the X-Men. I didn't understand that either.
And they didn't want to be X-Men. Like, who wants to be an X-Men? Like,
Ah,
you
fuck
guys,
all that. Clearly the X-Men are famous. Why the fuck
right?
famous heroes? Why the hell would famous heroes lock you up like that? Like lock you in solitary like that? That's like Superman locking somebody up. That's an innocent person because everything these people, even though these people did things, every single one of them are actually innocent, and we'll explain about their innocences as we go along. Right? So they're all innocent. Like I just explained about cannonballs. He killed his father and the entire work crew of the mine, but it was because he freaked out and his powers went off. So he's innocent. It was an accident. So I don't understand why you would think that famous heroes, famous for being heroic, would lock you up like that when you're an innocent person. That didn't make sense to me. That didn't make sense to me at all. There's also a thing with magic that didn't make sense to me either.
Which then
How the fuck is magic locked in there? Magic can teleport.
that is true.
So how the fuck is she locked in there? I didn't understand that at all. That made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. There is no reason for logic for magic to be locked in there. None whatsoever. It reminds me of Logan when his daughter had adamantium claws.
Mhm.
So this little girl is stuck in a little girl's body for the rest of her life. Did you realize that?
Oh, that's
Because she has
true.
adamantium on her bones. So her bones can never grow. I was like, you didn't think that through, did you guys? For once, for once, the bone claws would have made sense, and they didn't use it. I was like, This little girl is stuck being a little girl for the rest of her life because her bones could never grow. She can just age.
Oh my gosh. Like some orphan shit. Like,
Some orphan shit. Yes. This is the same thing. I'm like, that makes no sense because magic can teleport. There's no reason. Not only can magic teleport, she can teleport through time. So why is she stuck there? Exactly. No answer.
yo,
So
I need to look up her because she could teleport. She created her own plane. Like, she created her own hell. And she has this. The sword is super cool. So, like, what does the sword have to do with all her other powers? That's just a plus to her ability.
no, the sword is a magic sword from Limbo, which is what she calls her realm. Yeah,
Oh.
its source of the sword's power is Limbo itself. That's where it comes from. So that makes sense. That's why it's that color and stuff. It's a magic sword from Limbo. So we get more non-scary scares. Who was next? Who was
The
next?
Brazilian dude.
Was he next? No, he wasn't next. It was
Arya Stark?
yes. Yes, it was Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the next one because she was want to say some Hail Marys, and then her trauma was when she became a wolf, she went to go see her priest and he called her a witch and brand her was gonna burn her at the stake, so she killed him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
she went to go say some she went to go what do you call it? Confess. She went to the confessional booth, and then her nightmare was the priest being in the confessional booth calling her a witch and saying he's going to burn her alive. So she runs out of the confessional booth and then starts saying, talking about how demons can't go in churches. The next thing was they drugged the doctor. Right, they drugged the doctor. So now it's
Mm-hmm.
more like the Misfits. They even had the wheelchair thing. And that's when they do the lie detector test and we find out more about these people. That's when Cannonball said, did he? No, that wasn't when he told you. See, when did Cannonball say he killed his he could said he's killed his father? It wasn't during the lie detector thing.
No, I don't think so. He's talking about the lump of coal he got
Yeah,
from
that
his
was when he
dad.
said it was the thing was dead. I mean, his father. That's when he told him his father was dead, but he didn't tell him how. Sunspot went on there. We found out he's a virgin, which is actually important. It wasn't just there to be there. We find out Magic killed 8 people. That's why
Eight,
she is there.
18. 18.
It was 18.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she said 8. All right, 18 people. 8 or 18 people. I heard 8. Robin heard 18. I watched it twice, mind you, and I still heard 8. But then again, during the lie detector part the second time, I did go get something to eat. So I didn't bother poisoning. I just went and got something to eat. Yeah, I think that was the only ones they did the lie detector test for, right? Yeah, yeah. I might have that out of order. They might have did the lie detector first and then drug the doctor. But Pharaoh and Mirage has a developing romance. I mean, yeah, Pharaoh and Mirage. Yep. Then
Mm-hmm.
Sunspot has his nightmare, his living nightmare, which was the reason Sunspot is still a virgin is because he burnt his girlfriend alive. They were getting hot and heavy, and his powers went off, and he killed her. Which is why he's not been with a woman since that day, because he gets too hot, he kills him. Makes sense, which is why he keeps to himself. So then after that, they do this weird. The next day, the doctor does this weird drug questioning therapy. She like
Mm-hmm.
she it wasn't truth serum. It was kind of some drug that made her groggy, and it's sort of like hypnosis, except she was awake. I didn't understand that because it wasn't like truth serum. It was just I don't know. Maybe it was truth serum. I don't know what the hell this therapy was. But during this therapy, Mirage starts seeing images of remember the facility in Logan? Well, she starts seeing
Right. It
images
was
of
the
that
exact
facility,
facility.
which is why how they tied all the movies together. They tied the original X-Men and Logan to this that way, which was actually a really good way to tie them together. So I give them credit for that. That was actually made sense. I was like, okay, so this is a prequel to Logan, and it takes place in the other Marvel universe. I mean, the other mutant universe, and that's how they're all connected. Great, wonderful, no problems with that. That's when Wolfbane has another living nightmare. This time, the priest actually brands her. Magic also starts to have a living nightmare. She sees a drawing on the wall of this Slender Man looking guy.
Yep. Slender. You know, those creatures remind me of Slenderman, Miss Pelican School for Miraculous Children. Those monsters also. You ever seen that movie?
No, that one I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't
Oh
see
my
that movie.
gosh. Yeah, you definitely should see that movie.
I'll have to check that out. So Magic figures out what's going on. And she grabs Mirage by the neck and shoves her into limbo with her. And she's choking her. And then Mirage, oh, I'm sorry. What happened was, so after getting branded, they hear Pharaoh scream. And then Pharaoh comes running out in her full wolf form and then transforms back to herself. And it was like, what the fuck's happened? And then Magic comes out. It's like, she's the problem, talking about Mirage. And then grabs her and takes her into limbo. And is trying to kill this girl. So Mirage turns her face into the Slender Man face. And Magic screams and pulls the belts back out of limbo. And then the doctor hits her with a sedative and puts her in her room. So then Mirage goes and makes up with Magic, brings her Locky because she dropped it when she got the sedative and all that. They make up and they start talking, mostly about Mirage not knowing what her powers is, and yeah, pretty much that's it. And she needs all that about her, basically needing all the help from to figure it out so she can have control of him, whatever. Oh yeah, then they started showing the Huss episode on the TV on the screen. Then I really wanted to watch Buffy at that point.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was saying.
I'm like, why the hell you show the? You know what? Now that I think about it,
It's I feel
the
like they
Slender
based
Man people look like the
are just
Hush.
yes, exactly. That was one of the most scariest Buffy episodes ever. Honestly, it's just so
Yeah, the
scared
Slender
to
Man
bit.
people that actually ties in because they also look kind of they look like the Slender Man, a mix between Slender Man and the Hush.
Right. Remember they had the creepy smile, and then
Yeah,
Lockheed's they were all the smiling men. She
I
calls
was just
them.
so yeah, I was just so distracted at the fact that the Hush was on that screen. I was like, man, I should be watching the Hush right now. I didn't
That
tie the two together.
yeah, that dead ass was the scariest Buffy episode ever.
Yeah, don't put in things that remind you of better stuff because then people are just gonna be thinking about the better stuff. Because at that point I was really distracted. And I was watching it with other people, so I'm just like, you know what? I looked over at them. I'm like, you know what? Why aren't we watching the Hush right now? We could be watching Buffy, watching this Hush episode, which is like the best episode of Buffy ever.
I really think it was because that
Everyone, yeah, it really was. Everyone says it was. Yeah, but yeah, so I don't remember. I don't know what happens. I was so distracted by the Hush episode. I don't remember what happens. But at this point, Mirage starts talking about the facility that she saw, and she wants to go back to the facility. Oh, you know what I've been skipping? I keep forgetting. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier is Dr. Reyes has superiors, which
yeah,
is the superiors are, I guess they would call the Essex Company, which is the company,
Essex Corporation. Yeah,
yeah, which is the company that was in Logan, right?
yep,
Those are her
right.
superiors. They were the ones who told her to take blood samples from her and do that weird therapy thing, that drug therapy thing. And after figuring out what her powers are, what's going on, they tell her that to terminate Mirage.
I don't blame them. She
So Mirage goes back to her, to Doctor, hoping the doctor will fill her with drugs so she can find out more about that facility and what's going on here. So she willingly goes there, not knowing this doctor's about to put her down. Right? The doctor locks
and
her.
Arya Stark told her like, "Are you sure you want to go back to her pumping you full of drugs?" Raj like, "No, I got it. I got it."
I get it. I would have done the same thing because you need information to know what the fuck's going on, especially if you want to leave. Because the more information you have, the better your chances of escaping. So I get Mirage's mindset of it about that. Well, she had no idea this woman was planning on killing her, so it made sense. What's the name also noticed that the doctor was acting strange because Farrell wanted to go with them, and she told her to go back to Dr. Reyes told Farrell to go back to her room. So then she goes gets the others and says the doctor's acting strange. However, at this point, more walking nightmares start happening. This time it's Magic's and it's in full form. Now, even though Magic killed 18 people, I figured out why she's innocent. Those eight people, whichever, those creatures that she sees are her childhood image of the people who were torturing her as a child. That's how she saw them, which was the Russian mafia.
Oh yeah, with
I
all those
didn't
tattoos and stuff.
Right. I didn't figure it out the first time I watched it, but the second time I watched it, I noticed the tattoos that time. And I said, "Oh, okay. This is the Russian mafia. They held her
And the
captive
silk
as a
shirt.
child." Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, "Okay, this is the Russian mafia. They held her captured and tortured her. And as a child, this is the way they look to her, which is why they look like this now." So the second watching, the Slender Man people made sense. Because the first time I watched it, I was so distracted by their look that I didn't know what they was. I wasn't sure if she ended up trapped in limbo and these guys were in limbo and they were torturing her, or these were just mutants that look like that. And it was a group of them that just happened to look like that. Maybe they were like split like amoebas and that's how they reproduced. That's why they all look the same. No, really, this is what I was thinking. I was just trying to figure out why the hell they look like this. And it wasn't until the second watching I noticed all the tattoos. I was like, oh, okay, they're the Russian mob, and this is how she imagined them looking as a child whenever they came in to torture her. That's why they look like this. So that's why they look like that. And at this point, the movie is no longer dragging. It's actually gotten a lot better. I mean, it started picking up space. It started picking up pace around the time when the lie detector showed up. They studied the lie detector. That's when the movie starts picking up the pace. It doesn't drag anymore. But at this point, it really starts picking up the pace. So Cannonball starts using his powers the right way to fight these things off, as well as
Sunspot.
Magic. Magic starts fighting them off. Pharaoh, before they start fighting these things, runs off to get the doctor, and then I think she. How did she figure out? I know she went to the room where they left and they weren't there. How did she figure out where to go? Did she hear her screaming for help?
No, she was in the air vent.
No, before she went in the air vent. When she went back to the room and the doctor and Mirage wasn't there. She was
That's
part
when she
wolf,
figured something was wrong, and then she went looking for them. Like she's like,
but she
why
knew
isn't she in
no,
this
she knew
room?
exactly where to go. And I don't remember if she heard a scream or she used her sense of smell
Probably
because
the
she was
sense of
part
smell.
roof. She was part wolf at that time. So somehow I don't remember exactly how. I think she heard her screaming for help actually because Reyes has Mirage tied to this gurney, handcuffed to this gurney, and she's about to gas her. Or either she's going to do lethal injection. Either she was going to gas her or she was knocking her out with
Yep,
knockout gas and was going to give her poison through an
lethal
IV.
injection.
One
Yeah,
of the two. But the whole time she's doing it, she's talking about how her mother was a vet and how her dog had rabies and she had to put the dog down. And I think Mirage started screaming like at that point because she realized this woman was about to murder her. So Farrell saves her, tearing Dr. Reyes' face all the fuck up.
hmm
Tore her face up, tore her neck up, tore her chest up. Like she fucked this woman up really bad. So then they go to Reyes's office, and that's when everyone figures out she's working for Essex, and they're being trained to be assassins. Magic being the primary.
She would be an amazing assassin, honestly.
She was the what do you call it? The primary. I want to say source, but no, I'm not thinking of source. The primary.
Candidate.
Thank you. The primary candidate. She was the primary candidate above all the others to be an assassin. She was number one on their list, and they were working on getting the other ones that way, except for Mirage, who they decided to kill because they felt her powers are too strong to control. That's when they decide, well, we want to get the fuck out of here. Let's go kill the doctor. So they go find the doctor, and she puts them all in this tiny force field, and tries to crush Mirage, and this is when her powers go completely out of control. And this giant fucking bear comes in,
Wind Bear.
which is the same bear that destroyed the reservation. I blame her father for this. Because her father told her the story of two bears, one evil, one good, and the evil one works off of your fears. This girl was afraid of this fucking bear. So, subconsciously, because she was afraid of this fucking bear, her powers created this fucking bear.
Hmm.
So basically, if no one ever never told her this fucking story, the whole reservation would be perfectly fine. Thank your father, kids.
Right. You should have nipped that fear of the dark in the bud a long time ago. She's a what? How old was
Thanks,
she?
Dad.
Still afraid of the dark, having nightmares like that. You still
Uh,
scared of the dark?
if he hadn't told her this fucking story, they'd all be fine. Living their lives out on this reservation in perfect harmony. They probably would have had a nice protective bear. They just told her the story about the good bear. But no, he has to tell her both sides. So Dad fucked up everybody. So now Mirage is completely unconscious at this point. She was crushed so much that she passed out because the oxygen was being sucked out of the force field as well as it got small. So now the rest of these people have to fight this fucking bear, which literally eats the fucking doctor.
Enter whole like that's a crazy power. Like your dream fantasies can eat a person whole. That's crazy.
Yeah, she can create whatever her mind can think of. Sort of like Green Lantern. It's only limited by your imagination.
Oh, it really is.
So they had to fight this bear. And you know what? This fight scene was fucking amazing. You got Magic coming in, Cannonball using his powers. Lockheed showed up, real Lockheed, not puppet Lockheed, but we got to see real Lockheed. Sunspot used his powers. I mean, this action scene was really great. Meanwhile, she's unconscious and she has a dream sequence when her father sees her. Mirage, I'm talking about. Her father sees her and tells her it's time to wake up for her to take control of the bear, which is what she does. And the bear disappears. I'm assuming now that the bear is good, she can conjure it whenever she wants. At first, I thought about it. I thought she just like got rid of it. I'm like, why the fuck would you get rid of that? I would keep that. You can conjure it whatever you want. Then I realized, yeah, she can conjure it whatever she wants. So she didn't just get rid of it. She could just imagine a bear there and bear's there. She conquers her fear. Everyone decides to leave their past behind them. And I have no idea where the fuck they went. But they left the facility. I don't know if they formed a team. I don't know. Just know they fucking left. And we'll never find out because this whole universe is being scrapped. But that was New Mutants. And you know what? It's one of those movies I can't say is bad, but it's not like I don't know. It's
Wow. It's not
yeah, it's
wow.
not like it's not okay. It's not bad. The concept is really good. I know they wanted to go for different, and that's not the problem for me because I like different. I want different. We all want different. We're tired of looking at the same old shit. So that wasn't the problem. Here's what I figured out. The
Hmm.
problem is this: it's written as a teen angst movie, but it's filmed like a horror movie, and they
Right.
just didn't work together. If this was just filmed as a teen angst movie, this would have been a really good movie. If this was written like a horror movie, it would have been a really good movie. But because it was written like a teen angst movie and filmed like a horror movie, it just didn't click. It didn't work well. Because for one thing, you everything is told to you at the end of the first act. You're already told that this is Mirage's doing. You already know that it's not real. Well, it is. It becomes real later, but at the beginning, it's not real. It's not. The Slender Men people aren't really that scary. The jump scares are done so slowly that it's just kind of like, eh, you know. So I don't know. Maybe these two genres just maybe these two styles just shouldn't be mixed together. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
teen angst and horror just shouldn't be mixed together because it just didn't work. It really just didn't work.
Yeah. It left me feeling, I guess, like movie wise empty. Like,
I mean, like I said, the towards the end it got really really good, but during the ride there, it was things just seemed off, and it had nothing to do with the acting of the actors or the chemistry of the characters. That was all great, special effects, great, all that was great. But the fact that it was written like a teen angst movie and shot like a horror movie, they just didn't. It wasn't smooth. It was just very awkward and disorienting as far as enjoyment goes. You can't even blame the directing. The directing was great too. It's just yeah, those two didn't mix. They didn't mix well at all. So I don't know. It wasn't horrible. I'd watch this over a lot of other ones, a lot of other movies, especially a lot of other mutant movies. I definitely watch this over both Wolverine movies, definitely over X-Men 3. Way better than
dude,
Age of Apocalypse.
yeah, it wasn't bad, but like for the build up, it's been years. They kept pushing, delaying. I understand because of the merger and stuff, but like the fact that it was delayed for so long and the build up for it was so, so much, it wasn't, as awesome as they made it seem it would be, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. Doesn't say it wasn't bad. I guess if you can get past the jarringness of those two styles not meshing, I would say it was a good movie. It had a lot of good ideas. There were some things that didn't make any sense whatsoever, like magic being stuck there. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I thought it was funny that they made Arya Stark the wolf. I'm like,
They
oh, they
did
thought they
think
were
they were
real
cute with
cute.
that, didn't they? Make her pharaoh. I caught that too, and I was just like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Ha ha. Funny guys. But yeah, no, this could it be better? Yes. If it was filmed like a teen angst movie or written, like I said, if it was filmed like a teen angst movie or written like a horror movie, yes, it would be much better. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Would I suggest people watch it? I wouldn't suggest you don't watch it. I'll leave it at that. I will not going to say don't look at it. Not going to say skip it like some of these other ones we've had on here. So, yeah, I'm not going to say don't bother checking it out. That's up to you. I wouldn't suggest looking at it. I wouldn't suggest not looking at it. This is one of those that you just have to decide to take a leap or not. You might like it, you might not. You know, you might be able to look past how these two styles didn't mesh. That was New Mutants. Long awaited review for a very disappointing review because I don't hate this movie. Don't hate the
Right.
movie.
No, yeah, I don't hate it. It's just,
I'm not even
okay,
going
it
to
wasn't
ball
good.
up my notes
It
and
wasn't
throw them
bad.
in
It
the
wasn't.
trash. I'm just going to fold them and put them aside because I don't hate this movie. It wasn't trash. It just was one of those you have to be able to get past certain things to enjoy. You can do that, and
That's fair.
they're not hard to get past for most people. So if you do that, you definitely enjoy this movie. You'll definitely enjoy it. Everyone will definitely enjoy it after the lie detector scene because then, it starts to move a little quicker. Yeah, it picks up.
Picks up.
Before that, mm, all depends on what you're willing to look past. Ah, that was actually faster than every other fucking review.
Right, because like we didn't have anything. It wasn't like what the fuck. It was just like okay.
Yeah, there's no what the fuck moments other than the only what the fuck moment is why the fuck is magic still there? I don't want anywhere. You can go through time and space. Just fucking go somewhere. Why are you still there? Did she say she wanted to be a part of the X-Men? Or was she the one who said she didn't want to be part of the X-Men?
I think they're all saying, yeah, who wants to be an X-Men? Did I say I wanted to be an
Only one of them
X-Men?
said that. It was only one person
Oh,
said
that's
who wants to be an
true.
X-Men. I keep hitting my fucking mic. Only one person said
It
who wants to
was
be there.
Kentucky and Mirage who was like clowning the X.
No, Mirage wasn't clowning the X-Men because Sunspot asked, "Do you know who the X-Men are?" She's like, "Yeah, who does it? But you think they'd want us?" So I think it was
Oh,
Magic who said who wants to be an X-Men. I think it was her. Or maybe it was Cannonball, but somebody
oh,
said who wants to be an X-Men. I think it was Magic though.
yeah. Kentucky wanted
Yeah.
to go home. He's like, I don't want to be. I just want to
Yeah,
go home.
but he didn't say who wants to be an X-Men. Like, and it wasn't like
Yeah.
raise your hand who wants to be an X-Men. It was like, who the hell wants to be an X-Men? I'm pretty sure it was Magic who said it.
I'm like, I'm wondering if like for all that time, like the movie was on like pause and kept being pushed back. Was it just for them to be able to say X-Men, X-Men, X-Men through the movie?
No, no, it was just. I think they made a lot of edits. I think they edited a lot of stuff out. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost. I'm almost positive that there was a lot of crap in there that shouldn't have been in there just to drag the movie out, and they did a couple of edits to take that stuff out to make it work a lot better, which it sort of does. Sort of does. Like I said, we have very, very little to complain about this movie.
You know,
But at the same time, you don't get the wow factor at the end. So it was just okay. It was a nice way to end Fox's Marvel universe. That's the best way I can put it. It was a nice way, like the same thing as the last Star Wars movie. It was a nice way to end the story. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible, just a nice way to end the story. It was acceptable. I'm satisfied with that. Not wild, but satisfied with the ending. So that was New Mutant. Hmm. Oh, that's some good Lynchburg lemonade.
Lynchburg lemonade.
Yep. It's whiskey, triple sec, and lemonade.
Oh, that actually sounds nice.
Yeah, it is good. There's this movie on Netflix I think we should do for next week.
What movie?
I forgot the name of something affair. I'll text it to you. I can't remember the name of it.
Definitely.
But it just came out this year. It's a new movie, so it's an Omar Epps movie.
Oh, is that with what is Neil Long too?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Neil Long and Omar Epps is in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't see
So I
that
think
yet.
we'll do that next week. I haven't seen it yet either, so I think we'll do that for next week.
Cool beans.
Alrighty. Robin, what's in the news?
So in the news, I thought this was a cute little thing that they're doing. There is an airline in Taiwan that is advertising pretty much speed dating on the airline flight.
What?
It's like to no destination. You're literally just speed dating for the holidays. They have a flight for Christmas, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. And literally, you're on the flight, no destination, just mingling and pretty much trying to find the love of your life.
In the middle of a fucking
And then
pandemic.
you have in the middle of a pandemic.
More stupid people doing stupid shit. You're gonna
And
do an airline. Okay, so these people are gonna be on a plane flying around mingling in the middle of a fucking pandemic. It's bad enough that when you want to travel somewhere, you have to stay home for 14 days. You have to quarantine yourself for 14 days, even though you didn't sit next to anybody and wore a mask. But they're gonna. Who? What airline is this?
it is an airline in Taiwan, EVA. Let me double check. Yeah, EVA Air launches speed
But
dating
they're
flight to
gonna
nowhere.
have an airplane speed dating service. So everybody, well, I keep forgetting they think their pandemic's over, so they're not doing the quarantine. Oh God.
So
Well,
it's not
at
just
least it's not here.
anyone,
At least it's
right?
not here.
They're picky. They said it's 20 males, 20 females, and they have to be enrolled currently in the university.
So wait, they're doing this for one of their colleges?
Participants have the university graduates with citizenships in Taiwan.
Couldn't they just did online speed dating instead?
Right.
Figure out a way to transfer Skype calls to the next person every 2 minutes?
No, I'm telling you, they have the time.
More stupid people doing stupid shit. Fucking hell. Speaking of airlines, I got one. A man was arrested for refusing to wear a mask at Delta flight from Salt Lake City. Wear your fucking mask, people.
Rude.
Joshua Copley Council, age 44, was rushing aboard his Delta flight at Salt Lake City International around 10 p.m. Wednesday when the gate agent stopped him and asked him to put on a face mask, according to the police report obtained by Salt Lake City Tribune. Council refused and continued to board the plane. Once aboard, the captain and flight crew asked him to wear a mask. He became hostile and continued to refuse. He must be a fucking Republican. Like I said, more stupid people doing stupid shit. This took 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Only when all the other passengers got up and walked out did he finally leave the plane because he refused to get off the fucking plane, too. And then he went to jail for disorderly conduct. Good for his stupid ass. Fucking 45 minutes of this dickhead not putting on a fucking mask. I hate wearing a mask, too. But when I'm in a crowd of people, I put that shit on. Especially on a goddamn airplane. I
Mm-mm-mm.
want to go home. I'm not going to argue about putting on a mask when I want to go home. Fucking dumb. Stupid people doing stupid shit.
Yepper. We shall their true stupid colors. Uh, New Jeopardy host. Well, Jeopardy's coming back this January, and they will not be having a permanent host yet. They're just gonna have a string of new hosts, like guest hosts, to fill in the slot until they get a permanent host.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did they do that for Wheel of Fortune too? I mean, not Wheel of Fortune. Family Feud. They ran through a bunch of people.
Did they until the Steve Harvey came along?
I think so. I think they were after what's his name from Home Improvement. Al from Home Improvement.
Oh,
After him, I think they went through a bunch of guests before they got Steve Harvey. I think they went through a bunch of guests before they got Steve Harvey.
also, you know the well, I don't know how to address her identity now. The actor identified as Juno. You remember that movie Juno? And she was
Uh,
in Umbrella Academy?
Ellen Page.
Yes, yes. She officially announced that she is transgender. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so
Happy
what does
for
that mean exactly? Was
They're gonna
she?
change her name in the credits pretty
No,
much.
no, no.
Like,
What I mean is transgender as in she was born a female and she identifies as a man, or did she have a sex change and never told anybody? She's just coming out with
that's a very good point. Let me look into that further.
it. How did you not look into that?
Because I'm like, you know, I was curious in itself. You know what? Let me go open up the
Uh,
article and read
how do you
further.
not read the entire article to find that out? That's what I'm saying. Like, was she like a man and had a sex change before she became a famous actress and didn't tell anybody she had a sex change? Or is she now telling that she identifies as a man now? Transgender can go either way. Come on, man. It's 2020. You got to keep up on this stuff.
Right. Ellen.
Alphabet people need you to keep up on this stuff. Otherwise, they're going to whoop your ass.
You're right. Let me do better.
Oh, while you're looking
Um,
that up,
comes out as transgender male named
okay.
Elliot.
All right, so now she's okay. So she identifies as a man. Okay. Oh, it's too bad. She was hot.
Oh, I didn't know she was married.
I didn't know that either.
Her
I didn't know
wife
that
of
either.
2 years says, "I support you as the actor."
Actually, I didn't
Okay.
even know she was married to a woman. See, I don't.
Me neither. I thought, yeah, I didn't know she was.
I'm really not all into that into celebrities' personal lives anyway. So you know,
Her name is Elliot.
I just enjoy
Yeah.
their work and call it a day. I'm not worried about what they're doing at home because I don't know them. So I don't care. It's not my business.
But it's hard for me to keep up with their names alone. I don't really.
So here we go. A pedophile doctor who impregnated countless women with his own sperm.
That's like
Da-
something you only hear in Law and Order. What?
HBO is doing a documentary called Baby God, which tells the story of Dr. Quinn Forter, a fertility specialist who not only preyed on his own children, but inserted his sperm into possibly hundreds of women. I don't know what year this took place because it doesn't say here in the article, but I'm sure they're going to tell you in the documentary. Yeah, they're doing a documentary on this guy. It premieres December 2nd on HBO. The story of Forter, who over the course of decades impregnated an unknown number of female patients at his women's hospital. More crucially, it's the story of some of the children he spawned, none of who had any clue this man was his father until they traced genealog- genealogy.
Their genes change. I don't know how to say that word either.
I know genealogy. I have a hard time saying this word. It's kind of like trying to say rhinoceros when I was a kid. I can't say the words. I'm just going to say the genealogical ancestry through ancestry.com DNA kits. That's how they found out this man was their father. And it's hundreds, hundreds. So I think I'm going to try and I'm going to try to watch this. I'm going to find a way. We have HBO Max, but not HBO, I don't think. So I'm going to find, I think I know, I have HBO. I'm going to watch this because I'm very interested. His facility treatment was in I can't pronounce this place, but Nevada. Yeah, I can't pronounce this. Pioche, Nevada. However the hell you pronounce that. It's probably a Native American word,
Yeah, I
which
was
is
about to
why I
say
can't
definitely
pronounce
Native
it.
American.
Which is why I can't pronounce it. But yeah, so yeah, that comes on December 2nd. I don't have a time here. But that seems like it's pretty interesting to watch. I also didn't go through the rest of this article because I'm actually going to watch this. Things like this actually pique my interest because I'm always wondering how the fuck these people got away with this for so
For so
long.
long.
So long. It's like nobody noticed this weird shit going on. Yeah, I'm going too far down. This is a long article. It probably tells the time it premieres like way down at the bottom, but I'm pretty sure it'll be on demand. So even if you don't catch it when it first premieres, you'll definitely be able to catch that on demand. But that caught my attention. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. Did you?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say with that was it Scott that other article, was it Scotland legalizing, well, pretty much making feminine products free?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That is pretty doggone awesome. About freaking time. The fact that this country charges like a pink tax is insane. Like, we don't control this bloody dot every month. Like, why are we being charged extra tax? Just the money
Here's the
making
thing.
machine.
Here's the thing.
Go
First of all, did
on.
you read? Did you? Well, I'm waiting for you to read the article. I didn't read it. These people didn't read it.
Like, okay. So pretty much periods are like a technically in a sense a burden that,
The
has been
article. The article.
they're going, that's how the article starts off, like how it's a biological burden that we can't avoid. And then the Scottish Parliament confirmed its tweet on Tuesday that the bill was passed unanimously,
Mm.
and that the Scottish government is going to set up a universal system that anyone who is in need of like the period products can get them for free, and that schools, colleges, and universities will be required to make those products available in the restrooms for free.
Here's the thing. Technically, pads and stuff are a luxury. Like, you don't have a choice in having your period. But yeah, you don't have to buy pads. You don't have to buy tampons. You really don't. We make it seem, our society actually makes it seem like you need to. That's so that you can spend money on that shit, but you really don't have to buy that stuff. You can just bleed out and you won't die. So it's kind of a like it's a yeah, it should be free, but at the same time, it is a luxury. So it's kind of a iffy subject. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
play that back. If people didn't wear pads or whatever utilities they used to, then we've been in a really. I remember I read an article of how things used to be, how smelly it was because
But
periods were
but
all over the place. It'd
yeah,
be
but you
a
know what?
really smelly
That
world.
was uh that was normal. So no one knew the difference. That's what I'm saying. It's a luxury. We make it seem like it's not a luxury, like it's important, but it's not. We for years we lived with that smell. No one cared. The only reason we care now is because companies wanted you to buy their bullshit like sprays and douche and stuff like that so they can make money. But if it wasn't for them, women would still be walking around the same way they were 100 years ago with none of that stuff and no one would care. It's the same with body odor. People walked around smelling for years. You were so used to it, no one gave a shit. You didn't even notice. But because the companies wanted to make money on perfumes and soap and all that other stuff to make everyone smell good, hey, now it's a norm, and all of a sudden, oh, it's not a luxury. Yeah, it kind of is. It really kind of is. I think the problem is nowadays people don't seem to understand that a lot of the stuff we have is luxuries because we can survive without them with no problem. Like a grocery store is not a luxury because there's too many damn people in the world. Clothes is not a luxury because, the weather can kill us. But you're not going to die from bleeding from your period. You know what I mean? So it's kind of an iffy subject on that one. I'm not saying Scotland is wrong for giving it for free, but it's not cut in stone. Yeah, I know it's miserable for your women, but even if you weren't using pads, it would still be miserable. So that doesn't make it any less miserable. All that does is just keep the blood from flowing on the floor.
Flowing everywhere. Some
So it
girls have to wear
is,
diapers practically because you end up with a bed full of blood.
all right, but it is a luxury because
But
you're not
there's
going to
no like
die without it.
in this kind like okay, all right. So then aren't condoms seen as luxury? Why aren't there's
Yes,
no extra
condoms are a
tax on
luxury.
them?
You're not going to die. Well, it is possible to die from not using the condom, but you're not going to die right away. You have to get a disease to
But
die
then
from it.
yes, they don't. There's no extra tax on condoms, but there's an extra tax. Like you get like when we buy our products, there's like
Well,
a double
that's
tax.
that's wrong. The double tax is actually pretty wrong. But they're giving it away for free. Like the double taxes, that
Yeah,
has nothing to do with whether or not it be luxury or not.
it's kind of
That's
like
just fucked up. That shouldn't
yeah,
be. There should not be a double tax on that. That's just fucked up. But the argument here is that the pads and stuff is not a luxury, and yeah, they are. So that's an iffy subject about whether or not they should be free. It's not an iffy subject about the double tax. That shouldn't be there. How the fuck companies getting away with that? I don't know.
right.
I don't know how the
But
government's
yes,
getting away with taxing
you're
y'all
right
twice for
with
that shit.
that. But what type of healthcare? I don't know what healthcare system Scotland has. Do they have like universal free healthcare or something? Like
Mm-hmm.
with
I have no idea. Oh well, they are part
that
of
that
England. That's part. They're part of England.
so they probably do have like a
Mm-hmm.
universal and free healthcare thing, and then now they're just
Maybe
including free pads.
it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm
If
like
if
that's the
that's the case,
only
then their
thing.
argument was
Yeah,
valid. They shouldn't be paying for pads anyway. That is a healthcare thing, so they should be paying for pads anyway.
yeah. Thinking about it, yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense. 'Cause I'm like that was like always like the money there. I'm like
Yeah, that is considered part of healthcare, even if it
that
is a luxury part of healthcare.
is true. That would
It's
make
like
yeah.
aspirin. That's aspirin is actually a luxury because if you take a nap, if you go to sleep, chances are, unless you have like migraine problems, chances are your headache's going away. So that's technically a luxury.
That is true. I try not to pop pills. I just take a nap.
Yeah, so that's technically a luxury, but it's also considered medical health. So you know, did you hear about Kyle Rittenhouse? Or
No, with that.
as a person? So Kyle Rittenhouse was a kid who shot three people During the whatchamacallit protest. The hell's that guy's name? The Jacob Blake protest in August. 17-year-old kid shot three
I'm
people. With I think it was with AK. Um, what was it with? He shot them with, I think it was an automatic rifle.
just why? Like what? Just
He claims his lawyers are claiming it was self-defense, but if it was an automatic rifle, which I think it was, why the fuck is he walking around with an automatic rifle? Why do you need an automatic rifle for self-defense? Like, most people walk around with a handgun for self-defense. How are you walking around with an automatic rifle for self-defense? I can't find it, so I'm not sure, but I think it was an automatic rifle. So anyway, he got released on bail. Uh,
seriously.
yeah, he got released on bail. This is from Sunday, November 9th. So I think it was either Friday or Saturday. He got released on bail. $2 million bail. $2 million bail, and he got his bail money through donations.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was through donations, according to the lawyer in a tweet, including one from the celebrity Silver Spoon's Rocky Stroder and Michael Lindell, CEO of My Pillows. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, guess what? I'm not buying or watching ever again. I
That's insane.
This 17-year-old kid kills two people, injures one, and people are like, "Yeah, we're gonna bail him out." Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. If he was walking around the streets with an automatic rifle, there's no way you can claim that to be self-defense because you're not even supposed to walk around the streets with that. You went out on a mission to shoot people. So yeah, he's out, and I'm hoping there's not going to be any problems with that.
Thank gosh.
I
My
didn't
other
get much
news.
about the details because this is like an opinion written by a woman. So she basically started talking about her own experience of getting arrested. But yeah, they let him out. Well, they didn't let him out. People bailed him out. People actually got together $2 million to bail this kid out.
I could think of so many other things they could have put that 2 million towards. Feeding the hungry, like in this country, are like helping children in need, but they bail out this asshole. Okay,
Yeah, well, you know the type of people who bailed him out.
yeah, you don't
This
even
was in
have to say them.
Kenosha, Wisconsin, by the way. You people want to look it up. Yeah, killed two men and injured one in the Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. 17 years old, and I'm pretty sure he had an assault rifle. I wish I could find. I wish it said here in this article, but it mostly goes about this woman's experience of getting arrested with her pictures in here. Nice.
How should I digress? And my other news seems so.
She probably didn't have any much. She probably didn't have much information, which is why she started writing about her own experience and comparing it to what's going on with this guy getting out. But yeah, yeah, he's out. I don't. Does it say when his trial date is? No, it does not. But his lawyers are claiming self-defense. I'm claiming bullshit because if you go out with an assault rifle in the streets, you're looking to shoot somebody. You're
Indeed,
hoping
you
for a
are.
reason to shoot somebody, and you're going to find a reason to shoot somebody because that's what you went out there for. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of those what do you call them? Not what's the correct term for those skinheads? Um
Neo-Nazi,
yeah, thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like a neo-Nazi
or if they didn't
or
recruit
or,
him.
or a white supremacist member or a part of the Klan. I wouldn't be surprised at any of those three. The fact that this kid went out with a fucking AK. If this kid went out with an AK, I think it was, but I'm not entirely sure. But if this kid went out in the streets with an AK, yeah, he was looking for trouble. He was looking to start trouble. That's the only reason why you go walk in the streets with a fucking AK, and you're not in the military.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything
Okay.
else?
Well, in lighter news, they are opening the Super Nintendo World in Japan
What the hell is
during a pandemic.
Super Nintendo World? Is
Super
that like
Nintendo World.
is that like a? Oh wait, that's right. That was there already, wasn't it? I'm thinking it was something
Yeah,
new.
it got delayed. It was supposed to open this year, but it got delayed due to the pandemic. So they're opening February next year. And literally, it's just Mario World brought to life.
Hmm. I would say I would want to go, but one amusement park is pretty much music parks are all pretty much the same.
You could
There was
drive
a
a
time when
giant.
I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to go to Disney World, to Disneyland, Universal Studios." But you know what? How many times I've been to Great Adventures? It's pretty much the same.
I can't handle Great Adventure anymore. Like last time I went, my body was like, nah, be like,
I could go back. I can go do some more. I can handle amusement parks. It's just like I'm not in a rush to go. There's no amusement park out there that makes me want to go. Oh my god, I got to go there anymore because I realize they're all the same. They're rides, they're shows. That's it. It's ride shows and food. That's it. I get the same high from going on the Superman ride I would get on one of Mickey Mouse's rides. So I really have no reason to travel across seas to go to Nintendo World or across the country to go to Disney World. I can just go to Great Adventures in the next state over.
I'm kind of tired. I always wanted to go to Disney. Me and my boyfriend had an opportunity to go. He didn't want to go. He's like, that's for kids. Let's just go to Vegas. I'm like, I've been to Vegas. I've never been to Disney World.
Well, when you went to Vegas, you know what you could have did? Went on the roller coaster there. Same fucking thing. New York, New York. Going it 4 times. Same fucking thing.
Gosh. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, Fresh Prince. What did you think of the reunion?
It was good. It was good. It made me want to watch Fresh Prince again. And
Right,
I
me too.
realized I stopped watching that mid show. Like, I never got to season 6. I never saw the season finale.
Oh my gosh.
It's a thing with me with sitcoms. Like, I cannot finish sitcoms. By the third season, I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of over it. I move on to something else. At that point, I'm kind of bored with it. That's why I don't sit with sitcoms that long. I've never seen all of the Cosby Show. I've never seen all of Different World. I've never seen all of Fresh Prince. I stopped watching American Housewife after season 3. I've never seen all of actually I've never seen too many of whatchamacallits. What's that that the very famous one?
Friends?
No, recent ones. Um
New Girl.
no, the one with Al Bundy.
Oh, Modern
Modern
Family.
Family. I've never seen any of. I've seen bits and pieces of episodes of those. I haven't finished. I stopped Life in Pieces after third season. What else didn't I finish that I used to watch regularly in the beginning? Something else just popped in my head and I forgot it just that quick. Oh, Married with Children. I think I saw the last episode with Married with Children, but I have not seen every episode because I stopped watching at a certain period in time and then went back towards the end of the season. I think that one I actually saw the season finale for though. I mean the series finale for though.
I don't remember it. I think I seen it, but I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember it either, but I think I saw it because I think in the season finale, uh, Kelly Segal actually came back to play Peg.
She had a
It
hard
was,
time,
it
like,
was. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see the season finale, but I heard about it, and it was her being pregnant was all a dream.
and it was super duper sad, the circumstances.
Oh yeah, it was yeah because she was pregnant and she had the miscarriage,
Yeah,
and
and
then
she
when they
needed like time.
Or maybe that was when she came back and they made it. I forgot. I forgot. I don't think I saw the season finale though for that either. Yeah, I have a thing with sitcoms. After a certain, if after like 3 or 4 seasons, about a third or fourth season, I'm kind of over it. It's not as funny as it was to me before, and I just move on to something else. I guess the humor gets old to me because it's the same humor over and over again. Kind of like The Hangover. When I got to the third movie, I still haven't seen The Hangover 3 because I'm just like, it's just going to be the same jokes, and I'm over it now.
Yeah, that really, I only seen bits and pieces. Like, it is the same joke.
Yeah, Hangover 1 and 2 were funny as hell, but then when 3 came out, I was like, yeah, you know what? It's just going to be the same thing. And at this point in my life, I'm over that type of humor. I've moved on to South Park humor or whatever humor was going on at the time.
Yeah, they should have just ended Hangover with the second movie.
It might have been Family Guy. I don't know. Something else is humor evolves, and I had to evolve with it. So at that point, I was just like, this isn't as funny as it was back then. Uh, see, on my end, woman found dead in Bronx apartment with a bag over her head. Son fought for questioning. A Bronx woman's body was found in her apartment with a bag over her head. The police went to question her son, authorities said on Sunday. Victim is identified by relatives as 59-year-old Teresa Rosarito. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Rosarito had a plastic bag over her head when she was found dead in a complex next to a blood spatter, sources said. There were signs of a struggle. She was found by her daughter, and they are looking for. Yeah, she was found by her daughter, age 30, when she was worried. And she went to check on her, and that's when. Oh, no, no, no. She was worried. She hadn't heard from her daughter. That's what it was. She hadn't heard from her mother, so she called because she's a nurse who lives in upstate New York. So she called 911 to do a wellness check, and that's when they found her. She lived with her son, who is now, well, at the time of this article, which was Sunday, is now missing. So they're looking for him to uh to question him. Medical examiners are going to conduct an autopsy to determine how she died. She was found dead on the floor at the bottom of the basement stairs with a plastic bag over her head. They they don't want to say, but I'm pretty sure they think the son did it. This is why they're trying to find out where the hell he is.
Probably.
There had
Hmm.
been calls in the past of domestic violence between her and her son.
Oh,
Her son just
that
became a dad in September, relatives say. We haven't seen her
that's
since
super
last
sad.
year with all this coronavirus stuff. We've been too stressed. Martin says of Marito. I have no idea who this is. I kind of skipped over that. That's not the daughter. Daughter's name is. Maybe that was her daughter. Oh, it was her sister-in-law. I mean, yeah, her sister-in-law who said this. Yeah, they were busy with the coronavirus. Let's just say, where was that at? I've been missing her for the last couple of weeks because I wanted to catch up, but we didn't get to talk. This was a quote from her sister-in-law. So yeah, police are investigating that and looking for the son. So that sucks.
Right, during the holidays too.
Yeah, I wonder how long she was there.
Right.
At the time of this article, they hadn't done the autopsy, so it doesn't say a time of death on here either. Not that I see. That's all the news I have on mine. Then you have anything else?
Yes, a 13-foot massive alligator snatches duck from hunters in Central Florida. That's a dinosaur, bro. Like,
That's two of me. 13 feet is two of me. Yo, that thing probably weighs over 600 pounds. Like
like,
way over 600 pounds. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to 1,000 pounds. 13 feet is long. That shit is fucking
bro.
long.
Is there like a because I saw another alligator like what last week? A massive al I'm like it looks like it ate like a bear or something like because it was so massive and then this one too now I'm like they're mutating or like
No, they're not
they're
mutating. They're just being allowed to grow. We was killing the shit out of them fucking things. They used to be that big. Until we started killing them left and right. They used to be
yeah,
that big. Yeah,
I'm
no,
good
they get
dog.
big.
That
That's
is
actually pretty cool, but that's like two of me. That shit has to weigh close to 1,000 pounds. Close to a
like
thousand pounds. And I'm watching it eat this duck, and it can pretty much swallow the fucking duck whole. Like it chomped it like 3 or 4 times, but yeah, it could have just swallowed that whole thing whole if it really wanted to.
Swallow a human. Oh, and then the other alligator article, man who wrestles alligator to save puppy. That little puppy, thank goodness. Oh my, he's lucky it wasn't that 13-foot long one.
Oh, that shit would have been gone. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, like
Did you
that
hear?
poor little
It was the
puppy.
sounds that got me. And he was like, ugh, let it go. Let it go. Ugh. He was like dragging it out, grunting.
Gosh, and he went to wrestle with it after. Oh, the little puppy. Oh, thank goodness.
What?
Nope,
You,
I'm good off of Florida. Get out of here.
oh no, he's both in Florida. Well, you might as well read the article.
And then, okay, so man who wrestles alligator to save puppy talks to fox, of course. He opened the jaws of the alligator to rescue his crying puppy. He is 74 years old and only had his dog for just a week.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
right, because like a lot of people are like getting pets during this whole quarantine, and he's probably super duper lonely. He probably bonded with this dog already, like,
I didn't know
and
he only
then
had it for a week. Holy shit.
only a week. The two were taking a stroll by the pond near his home when the alligator jumped out of the water, snatched the little dog, and dragged him under the water.
Yeah, man, that shit
And
is
then,
crazy.
yeah, when the alligator went under, like he was so quick with it, and then he jumped in the water and grabbed that alligator up.
Yeah, I watched that and I was just like, damn, he pried those jaws open.
He's not playing. That puppy is his little buddy. Like,
I watched the video. He sounded like the typical old Southern boy. He sounded like a friend of mine who lives down south named Charles. He's like, I think he's like in his late 70s, early 80s, and he talks just like that because he's sitting there. He's like, we're listening to him on the newscast. He's like, yep, he's all patched up now. And I just took him out, but he wasn't on a leash because I got a leash for him, but it was too big and we weren't gonna fall. So I just figured, we'll just walk out for a little bit. And he just got too close to the water, and that the alligator just jumped up on and got him.
a little pup, like he fought for it.
I was rolling. I was like, yeah, he's Southern, all right. He's one of those good old Southern boys. He's not from Miami, Florida. And then he's sitting there talking. They asked him why. They asked him why there was cameras. He said, "Well, we do a lot of things with the wildlife out here, so we got all we got we got a lot of alligators and birds, and he just starts naming animals." Like he just started naming animals, and I'm like, is he ever gonna stop? And finally, like 2 minutes in, he finally, I think it was like 2 minutes. It was just like one animal after another. Finally, he's like, yeah, so they put cameras all over the place to track those things to show that humans and animals can live in habitats together. I swear to God, I thought he was gonna name like two or three. This guy named like maybe 12 animals. He just kept going down the list. He named like three different types of birds, elk and deer, alligators. I think he named a couple of fish. I was like, yep, that's a good old Southern boy right there.
No, thank you.
He reminded me of my friend Charles, man. He talks just like that. You gotta love him though. You gotta love him. And when sometimes you be talking, you be sitting there and you're listening to him and he's doing that and you're like, is he ever gonna stop? But you gotta love them. It's part of their personality. And sometimes you want to comment, but they're still going. And I said the lady who was doing the report, and you could tell it was a split screen. You could tell she wanted to comment, but he was just a going.
She's just like,
It was one of those. Ah, shit! I didn't know we was gonna get into this.
Like, oh, okay, all right. You saved the puppy. Okay, cute. Oh yeah, shrimp gumbo, shrimp,
Word.
shrimp pie, fried shrimp,
Word. He
popcorn.
was Bubba from Forrest Gump. That was great, man. That was great. See, we ended on a high note. We ended on a high
Indeed,
note.
yes.
We ended on a good note there. You guys got to see this, man. Not only is it amazing to watch this man pry open this alligator's mouth, so this puppy can get out, but just to hear him describe what's going on down there is just great. It's amazing. Uh, I love watching people and their different personalities. It's just stupid people doing stupid shit I can't stand. Fucking dumbass Taiwan people. Can you at least wait until there's a vaccine? Can you do that?
Speed dating for love.
Because you know some dumbass from America is going to go over there just to be a part of that.
Right.
And he's either going to spread shit over there or bring it back. One of the two.
Uh-huh. I got STD.
Exactly. Uh,
Ah,
so I'm tired. I'm going to oh, call this a night. Wait another half hour to see what the new season of Fortnite is since I played the end of the event today, which was fun. I just wish it lasted longer than 10 minutes. Fortnite, you need to make those events last at least a half hour. You're going to have people sit there and wait to get in, and you know we're dying to get in to be a part of this. Make it last a half hour. Come on,
that would
guys.
make more sense.
10 minutes is not enough time. Like when you're having fun, you're starting to enjoy it, and then it's over, and you're like, what the fuck? That's it? I stayed here for an hour or two to get into this. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was really enjoying it, and then it just ended, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's it? And then the screen went black, and it said I had to wait until midnight to start season 5, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah, you're a few minutes away.
yeah. Fortnite, please do better on your live events that in your season finale live events. Make them at least a half hour. An hour would be awesome, just an hour. But if you can't make it an hour, at least make it a half hour so we can have some good gameplay out of it. That's all I'm saying. Let
Mm-hmm.
me just throw in these plugs. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're tired of being a week behind everyone else, you can catch us on any any of your local podcast networks. That's right. We are now on Pandora. We're on them all. So there's no reason why you can't find us. It's Cinemastrophe Cocktails Hour. Sinemastrope Cocktail Hour. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna remember what the hell you can follow me on Twitter at Don Perignon 77. Facebook at Cinemastrophe. You can also catch everything on cinemastrophe.com, including the podcast, which also airs on Friday. You just have to look on the over near the archive section on the right. Scroll down, you'll see the podcast link right there. If you happen to be in New York State, the New York tri-state area, and you want to get some great tacos, you can go to East Show Street Tacos. They have two locations, one in Astoria, one in Williamsburg. You can find the exact address for those locations at East Coast Street Tacos NYC.com. You can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter, the same thing, East Coast Street Tacos NYC. You can email us at donperignon_v1 at yahoo.com. Send us your comments, send us your pictures, send us whatever the fuck you want to send us. Just don't send us any dick pics. Although
Mm-hmm.
she might
Mm-hmm.
want some dick pics, so.
No, I'm good after the balls I seen this week. I'm good.
Also, occasionally I am on Twitch playing some games under the name the Doctor underscore 2477. So you can find me there. I think I got my internet working again, so I should be able to start streaming again. My internet was stuck. You know how it gets jammed sometimes. I had to fix that, and now I think I'm able to stream again. I had to go from the 5G to 2G for a while, so I didn't have time to fix the internet connection. But I got that fixed, so we got that. I think that's everything this time. I think I actually remembered everything. Did the Twitch, did the Twitter, did the email address. Oh, and of course the YouTube channel. How can I forget the YouTube channel where you can find all my old reviews. I am going to be doing some new stuff soon. I just have to figure out a schedule. I don't know if I want to take a week off from the podcast or do a whole bunch of episodes of the podcast and then end the season and then work on the other show and then come back to the podcast with season two. But I got to figure it out because I'm getting old. I'm getting old, and juggling 50 million things isn't as easy as it used to be. I'm like Vince McMahon trying to run everything. I'm getting gray hairs and sounding crackly, and it's not working. So I got to figure out a schedule for that's manageable for me at this time, at this day and age. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So yeah, next week will be the Affair movie, whatever the hell the name it is. We'll see how that goes. And if nothing happens during the week, I'll just have more farm stories to tell because I always have farm stories to tell. They never get old, and I have a billion of them. I got 20 years of farm stories. 20 fucking years. That's when you know you've been there too long.
Boom, baby.
I should be like the Undertaker and retire after 30 years. That's what I should do. I should stay at the farm for another 10 years. And 2030, I should retire from the farm. I should give them a whole speech and everything.
While the animals look at you like,
Well, I wouldn't give a speech for the animals. What the hell's wrong with you? It's clearly for the other employees and upper management. The hell standing around. I'm not Dr. Doolittle. Oh. But that's it for the night. Say goodnight, Robin.
good night, adios, bonne nuit.
Good night, everyone. See you next time.